Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alice and this channel is called Alice's Life. Every month in 2021 I have been going through the books that I have read that month. So in October 2021 I read 8 fiction books, so I'm going to be quickly reviewing them for you today. Okay? The first book that I read this month was called The Push. It was published earlier this year and I really enjoyed it. I rated it 5 stars. It's one of the best books that I read this month. It's a good book if you want something that's going to put you off having children. And her eldest daughter maybe caused the death of the younger daughter, but no one believes her. But she doesn't like her eldest daughter. It's like a monster to her. Dark, gripping and sinister read, but I didn't want the book to end. It was just really engaging and I enjoyed it a lot. After this, I read Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. This is a book that she published earlier this year and I got it from the library. There's a lot of hype around Sally Rooney and I have not read Normal People or Conversations with Friends, her other 2 books I think, but this book that I've just read has put me off and I don't want to read the others. The lack of speech marks is a bit irritating. And then it's just a bit of a tedious book. I just wanted to get it over with and I was like waiting for something to happen, but nothing really happened. I didn't really relate to any of the characters and it was just tedious. Next I read a book by Cecilia Ahern. It was published I think 2nd of September, so it is a very new book which I found in the library as the hardback on the display. Anyway, it's called Freckles. I think that's her nickname and it's all about this young woman who's in her 20s I think. And she leaves her father and goes and works in a town where she knows that her mum works and she's trying to get a relationship with the mum. The mum doesn't know who she is and she has the job of a parking warden. So she goes around the town giving people parking tickets and she ends up meeting the mum that way. Yeah, it's a bit of a sad story. Not one of my favourite books by Cecilia Ahern, but okay, I like the front cover, it's a nice pattern. Next I read a book that had been hyped up a bit. It was called All the Lonely People by Mike Gale. I actually put a request in for this at the library after reading something in a newspaper or newspaper magazine. Anyway, it did not like, rated at 1.5 stars. It was all about this 84-year-old man who moved from the Caribbean to England after the Second World War and he just became a bit lonely because his wife died. And then he ended up becoming good friends with his neighbour who is 24, which I don't think is particularly believable. Well, it's kind of believable that someone might like each other, but they became friends and they started these new projects and finding new friendships, and it was just weird. Well, not weird, it's just not believable, and I like things with a bit of believability. Like, I don't know, and like the words were written the way someone with a Jamaican or Caribbean accent might say, and it was just a bit, did not like. Next I read a book written by Amanda Robson and it was written in 2017 and it's called Obsession. This book was a bit funny. There were 2 children from, the best friends had 2 children each and the 4 kids together were called Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, so they called them like the Gospels. So that was quite funny. Anyways, there's like sexy parts, but then there's all these Christian parts because her husband was Christian and her best friend was a Christian, but anyway, there was this affair, all these different affairs and things going on, and it was a bit, I don't know, I really liked the book. I found it very engaging and I just wanted to see what was happening. I didn't actually like any of the characters that much, but it was well written and I did enjoy it, and I have passed it on to someone else to see what they think. After that I read a book called Restless. I think this is meant to be a modern day classic. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood, but I couldn't really understand what was going on. Some sort of relationship. I don't know, I just wanted it to be over. I was forcing myself to finish it because I like to finish books once I start, but I did not enjoy. Well, I think towards the end it got a little bit better, but it's just a bit like olden day style for me. Next I reread Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. So I read this a few years ago and I actually own the physical copy of the book. It's one of my favourite books of all time, which is why I've actually kept it rather than just getting it from the library. Yeah, I just really like it. So there is a woman, I think she's late 20s, and she's got autistic traits because I don't know. I was listening to a podcast with Gail Honeyman, the author, and she doesn't have, the character Eleanor does not have autism, but she's got autistic traits, and then other things like maybe like depression, and that's as a result of abuse during her childhood from her mother, which has resulted in physical scarring on her face, and also she's had abusive boyfriends and other difficult relationships. So she just works in an office in an administrative role, and I don't know, I just like the story, it's cute, and the language is good because I go and Google what the word means to try and broaden my vocabulary, because she has a good vocabulary. So I read The Law of Innocence. So this plot is where a dead body was found in a man's car, so that man is now suspected as the main murderer, so he goes to prison, loses a lot of weight, but still has a good relationship with his ex-wife, and also he's got a daughter who's studying law at university. So he works as a lawyer and he tries to get himself and like find out who really killed this man. I don't know, there was too much in the court scenes and not much drama elsewhere, so I didn't really like it because I don't really understand court that much, so it's kind of interesting but didn't really like. Okay, so that's all I read this month, 8 books. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and bye.